Hi there, RA, and I am Michael Buckhoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you left me a Facebook comment, and let's take a look at your situation. So I do teach a lot of students in exactly your situation. So let's see what we have. So you have, hello Mr. Buckhoff, this is R. I am a pharmacist working on my certificate here in the United States. I'm struggling to get my required score in TOEFL. My highest in listening was 24, reading 24, writing 26, speaking 24, but I'm going to say here, I never got or received, or how about you want to be a little more formal, I never obtained those scores at the same time. My scores fluctuated from test to test. For example, I took 21 reading, 24 listening, 23 writing, and 24 speaking. And one time I took 21 reading, 26 writing, and so on. I need your recommendation, please. I want to improve my score in general to nail my required score and move to the next test. I speak. I would say here you need an adverb here, not an adjective. I speak well, not bad. And all people say they can understand me. My accent is not bad too. My problem is, you can probably say this. I got panicked. How about this? I had great anxiety in the test. And that stressed me out and affected my overall delivery. Thank you so much. Alright, so I think I have a pretty good idea what we can do here. So I'm going to recommend a specific plan to help you based on your situation. Alright, so what I can see here is you're actually pretty close with the reading and the listening. It looks like you need a little bit of a boost in the speaking and the writing areas, and particularly, I think as you practice posting practice tests on my website, particularly speaking, this will help you reduce your nerves and build your confidence, so when you take the TOEFL IBT, you'll perform much better in that area, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to recommend for you. Now remember, once you become one of my students, you will have complete access to over 700 lessons to help you improve your vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You'll have access to everything. The study guide is simply a recommendation of specific lessons at different parts of my course that you can start focusing on. Of course, if you want to work on other parts of my course that's not in the study guide, you can certainly do that. Alright, so no problem there. Okay, first thing, continue to do some reading practice every day. I'm going to recommend about 25 minutes. Same thing with listening. Practice listening every day for about 25 minutes. Now, as you do the reading and the listening practice, work on your note-taking. You need to be pretty good with your notes. As you know, you have to arrange the notes from the reading and the listening passages, and then you have to write and speak about that information. So note-taking becomes important. Now, my fourth suggestion is start writing maybe 3 250-word summaries each week. I think this is going to be important for you right now to help you with your writing. Now, secondly, begin giving maybe 3 60-second oral summaries of those reading and listening passages. So you're practicing right now writing and speaking about the information. So The 3 60-second oral summaries, do those each week, and then do the 3 250-word summaries each week. This is all ungraded. It doesn't have to be graded by me. Remember, you're going to be posting speaking and writing practice tests for me also, and I will be grading those to give you feedback in those areas. Now, the sixth thing is I'm going to recommend my 60-day TOEFL study guide for speaking and writing. Remember again, you don't have to just use this if you don't want to. You can work on anything else that you need to work on in my course. And in fact, sometimes when you do a writing or speaking practice test, either my teaching assistant or I, we may have to recommend additional lessons anyway to help improve your weak points. But the bottom line is this. My website right now has 40 independent writing practice tests for you. I have 43 integrated writing practice tests that you can start practicing today. I have over 300 independent speaking prompts that you can practice. I have 30 integrated speaking practice tests that you can practice, so you can become more familiar with organizing, developing, and responding to the integrated and independent speaking and writing tasks. And little by little, you should be able to build your confidence, so you will know when you're ready. As you begin posting speaking practice tests, part of my job is to determine why you're getting a score of 24 or 22 or 23 on the speaking. So if it's delivery means you're having some problems with your pausing, pacing, tone, stress, and so on. It means you're having some problems with your pronunciation. But you might also have some language use problems. That means you might be having problems with vocabulary and grammar, and you might even be having problems with organizing and developing responses. But whatever the case, the more speaking practice tests you post, the more familiar I become with your particular problems, and the better I can recommend specific lessons and exercises to help you overcome those weaknesses. That's it. So it'll probably take you a few dozen or more speaking practice tests until you get really, really comfortable, I think, feeling what it's like to get the 26 out of 30 on the speaking. Alright, so those are my recommendations for you. I'd love to have you as one of my students, so if you want to join my course, go to onlinetoeflcourse.com, click on the Join tab at the top, and once you create your PayPal subscription and make your payment, inexpensive payment by the way, of only $38 a month, think about this for a minute, the course for you is pretty much free. The $38 is simply covering the operating costs for my site, and I have to pay my teaching assistant $11 an hour to score all your writing practice tests. And I take care of listening, responding, evaluating your speaking practice tests. So I'm not trying to save the world here. I'm not trying to bring in thousands and thousands of students every month. I just get a small batch of students each month at my course, and I help them. And I can help you too. Alright, anyway, thank you very much for your comments, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.